Hi guys, today we'll do another rust test. We will compare 3 different surface finishes to a good old coat of oil to see if we can get the same or maybe even better results, which would be a massive improvement in terms of convenience. Let's go over the products real quick. Here we have our zinc nickel coating, which we've used before. I really like it because it doesn't really change the appearance of your knife. It's still a silver finish. It applies pretty quick, but obviously you need a power supply and all the stuff around it, but I still really like it. Then we have ferric chloride, which we'll use because I really like the surface finish. It's a bit of a gray, darker finish. And also ferric chloride is pretty cheap, and chances are if you work with Damascus you will already have it. So why not try it out? And then lastly we'll use a cold blue finish, which is an almost black finish with a slight blue tint to it, hence the name, which I also really like, especially with darker wood and copper accents. It's pretty straightforward to apply. However, it takes a long time to dry out, and also the bottle is very expensive for its size, so we'll see how it does. And then obviously we're gonna use Ballistol because that's usually what I have around. So let's get to the application.
First, we will apply the cold bluing solution. It contains selenium dioxide and nitric acid, which converts the top layer to iron 2,3 oxide, also known as magnetite, which, fun fact, was also used to make magnetic tape. After 3 minutes, we remove the solution with water, pat it dry and apply a coat of oil. Then it has to sit for at least 12 hours. Next, we galvanize a second piece. The solution leaves a zinc nickel coating. The layer thickness should be between 5 and 10 micrometers, and under perfect conditions we should get around 0.6 micrometers per minute. But since life is never perfect, we'll assume less and leave a piece in for 30 minutes with the blade edge facing the nickel anode. I have my power supply set to 1.6 volts for this run. Try to start at around 1 volt and raise it slowly until you hear light hissing and see a few bubbles forming. After 30 minutes we will wash a piece with some water and pat it dry. Our last coating is the ferric chloride. I couldn't find too much detail about the mechanism that's occurring. I suspect that the iron 3 chloride reacts with the iron to form iron 2 chloride, which gets removed from the surface and leaves a layer of iron 2 oxide behind, which would explain the black color. After 15 minutes we remove our test subject and neutralize the acid in a sodium solution. Then it is ready. So here we have a test setup. Let's just take a look at all of them. Here's the galvanized part, a very nice silver shine to it. That finish looks very good. Then we have a bluing. Again, a very nice dark finish. I haven't oiled it, so I've degreased it after I applied the Ballistol, because I think if you wanna carry around your knife with such a finish, you want it to be degreased, otherwise you just get your fingers dirty every time. So that's why I degreased all of my test subjects. Here's the edged one. Very nice rough finish. I haven't actually stonewashed it because I wanted to give it a better chance in this test. I suspect if I stonewash it, then at the parts where the stones rub away the finish, it would just ruin it. And on the left I have my control piece, which I'm actually trying to test with just some Ballistol here, just to get some oil on it, because I want to see if one of my finishes here does a better job than a light coat of oil. Then we're gonna use our trusty salt solution, cover it, and I think tomorrow we will have the first results. Here we can see the control piece that had a coat of oil applied. There's some pretty nasty looking goop on top, However, if we wipe that away, we have some discoloration, but no rust has built up on the surface. You can't really feel anything with your fingernails. The galvanized piece looks similar to the control, but if we wipe the goop away, we can see that a pretty substantial amount of rust has formed. You can even feel it with your fingernail. We can see the same discoloration as before, but with a black outline that would require sandpaper to be removed. The blued piece looks better than the other two, but that's due to its base color. If we wipe the rust away, it looks quite good. There is some discoloration and some rust buildup. However, it would still need sanding to remove, and since that would also remove the black finish, it would require a complete reapplication. At last we have the edged piece, and that has completely failed. Nothing is coming off and all this rust is attached to the steel. So it would take quite some effort to restore, and it too would destroy the finish.
So unfortunately none of our surface finishes beat the oil. However, both the zinc nickel and the bluing were an improvement over just a plain edge, and the completely untreated piece would have failed even more. So if you don't want to put any oil on your bed, the zinc nickel and the bluing are valid options. Just be aware that should you be in an extremely corrosive environment, for example you're fishing in the ocean, you need to put a coat of oil on it, and if you put your knife away for a long time, let's say over the winter, then it's probably a good idea to put some oil on it too. So I hope you liked this video, I hope you learned something for your future projects. Have a good day and bye bye.